Hi, welcome back. In this video, we are just going to be talking about the basics of meditation. I'm going to talk to you just about how to really take it off the mountaintop and make it something that will work for you in your everyday life. And we're also going to cover the 3 main types of meditation, so stick around. My name is Jana Nixa, and I help people master your mindset and raise your vibe so that you all can truly connect and live the life of your dreams. So today's topic is all things meditation. So this is very near and dear to me. I am a meditation teacher, and this topic I'm super excited to talk about today because it changed everything for me. And there were so many things that I'm going to be sharing with you guys today that I wish I would have known when I first started, that I hope will make your journey just a lot smoother and a lot clearer so that you can really just get to the essence of this, so that you can understand what all this meditation fuss is about. So first and foremost, I want to demystify it in the sense that it doesn't have to be this serious thing where you have to sit for, hours on a pillow and, with silence and, never breaking your concentration and clearing your mind of thought. When I first started, I was a new mom. What does that mean to all of us, who've been new moms? You're tired. So rule number 1, I tell you to break, is lay down. Lay down. Now, the key is you can't fall asleep. But if you really just need to not have to sit, if you just feel so exhausted, then just lie down. Something else that I think people often really get confused with on meditation is that you have to clear your mind of all thoughts. And guys, that's virtually impossible. So let's just set that expectation up right off the bat. If you are somebody who is new and trying to meditate, that all you really need to do is pick kind of a way you want to go about it, and we'll get to the different types here in a second, and just watch yourself. And as you have thoughts, either you can let them go by, but if you find that you get lost in a train of thought and you're starting to think about, what you're going to have for dinner or what somebody said to you yesterday, as soon as you catch yourself, just bring yourself back to, well, yes, I am meditating, but not in a frustrated way, which was so me. Oh, I can't believe I did it again. I got distracted. No, just knowing that you're learning a new skill, just like you're training for a marathon. You're not going to beat yourself up because day 1 or day 10 or even day 30, you didn't just go out there and have the best time ever. You're a beginner. And so just approach it from that beginner's mind. And patience and grace, because this is a gift that you're giving yourself. But just because it's sitting and being doesn't mean that it's easy. So I think that would be something else. So another huge suggestion that I have if you're first getting started is just try to do it in the morning. Because if you're anything like me, as much as I meditate, I may not get to it at night. I may be too tired after my day, or I may just get distracted by other things. When you work and you have kids and you have a family and all of these obligations, life does get in the way. So when you're trying to do any new skill, the biggest gift you could give yourself is give yourself that extra time in the morning, so that maybe, you're not going to be distracted. So I get up before anybody else in my house gets up, so that I'm guaranteed to have that time and as much time as I need, so that I don't feel rushed and I feel like I can get done what needs to get done. And if that means you have to go to bed 30 minutes earlier, you just got to go to bed 30 minutes earlier. So those are just a few of the fundamentals that I think would have been really helpful for me at first. Because if you think you're going to just sit down and do it, unless you're guaranteed to have quiet time in the middle of the day, chances are it may not happen. or even in the evening. So, so those are just some things I think where we can kind of take it off that mountaintop of serious, must sit here, and, you know, all of the things that go along with that. And just know that you be patient with yourself. Lay down if you have to. Just don't fall asleep. And, you know, it's not going to be perfect at first, so that's okay. But set yourself up for success by picking a time when you aren't going to be interrupted, and that you know that you can sit for at least 5 minutes to start and just have that time for yourself. So okay, so with that, let's get into the main types of meditation. As I've shared with you in other videos, I mean, there's so many different kind of versions of this. So I've just tried to bucket into 3 types, because I know if you're like me, we like to just kind of, you know, our brains like to categorize things so that we can kind of understand them. So the first type, and what I do recommend for a lot of beginners, is just sort of a focused meditation. And so that can look a lot of different ways. That can be focusing on your breath. So maybe setting your phone for, you know, 5 minutes and just breathing and focusing on the rise and fall of your chest and the sensation of your breath coming in and out. And again, just bringing yourself back to that anytime that you get distracted. So focused meditations are great for that. Another type of focused meditation is maybe staring at a candle. I don't know if you're like me, but I've always, fire, candles have always just kind of put me into that state. I could stare at a campfire for hours. So, you know, if that's the kind of person that you are, then that might be a really great tool to help kind of draw you into that place of stillness. And not to say those thoughts aren't still going to come. It's perfectly normal. But just once you realize, oh gosh, there I go again, just, you know, find the humor in it, because it is. I mean, it's just a new skill we're learning, nothing more. And, you know, the grace to just bring yourself back and start again. So it doesn't mean you have to start the timer over or you didn't do it right. It's part of it. That is the practice, guys. The practice is just bringing yourself back to that breath. So those are a couple of focused meditations. Something else you can do that's helpful to focus your mind is to give it something to do, almost like a baby, right? Just give it a little, you know, rattle or something to play with. So mantras are really good for that. So one that I recommend to a lot of new people is you can, you know, breathe in peace and then breathe out and let go of anything that's no longer serving you. Or breathe in love, breathe out any, you know, negative anger, any of those sorts of things that you want to rid yourself of. So, you know, just focusing on that sort of breathing in peace, breathing out, you know, whatever's no longer serving you. Mantras really are more used for, you know, you can breathe in something like peace begins with me, or just any sort of thing that really resonates with you. I flow through life with ease. Just sort of some sort of saying that's short and sweet, but really kind of gets you here in your heart. There's also all sorts of Sanskrit mantras that are out there. You could just look online and just find something. I know Deepak Chopra works a lot in his meditations with mantras. And, you know, you're doing your focused meditation and you're saying that mantra, or you're thinking that mantra. And, you know, as you find yourself maybe get distracted in thought again, you bring yourself back to that mantra. So again, that can be as simple as a word or a phrase, or even, you know, something in Sanskrit or anything that makes you feel that connection from your heart, and it just kind of brings you back to that space. So that's sort of bucket number 1. Great place to start. Admittingly, for me, was one of the toughest. Because it is so simple, and I think a lot of us out there are so used to so much complexity that it's tough. It's tough to just sit and breathe and not have anything else to really do with that monkey mind. So number 2, and I think the one that could be the most sort of life-changing, if you will, is watching your thoughts. And the idea here, it's called an open awareness meditation. And what you're doing here is you're kind of, first you're centering yourself into this space, similarly to, a focused meditation. And then once you sort of find that place of stillness, let me see if I can capture, it's a connection, it's a fullness that you feel after you do some deep breathing. I personally like to breathe in light and just kind of breathe it into different, parts of my body to just kind of get me settled. And then we move into a focused an open awareness. And so from there, you're just going to watch yourself, almost like you're just kind of hovering up there behind you, and you're just going to watch and just see, oh gosh, look at me, there I go. I'm starting to think about how much longer I have to do this. And then once you realize that you've started, maybe you get lost in it, and you'll start to see a difference. There's a difference between having a thought and getting lost in it. And, the practice here is just, oops, there I go again. I'm off on that train, and just bringing yourself back to, that center of just kind of watching the watcher and just being in that. I highly recommend that, there's lots of great soothing, relaxing music out there. So I typically like to put in my headphones and do that and listen to it while I'm in this space. That seems to help settle me, ground me, and keep me kind of focused on, the task of meditating and watching my thoughts. And then the third, which is something that I really enjoy doing with you all and will be continuing to do. So just check out in the description below. I will link some of the guided meditations. So for me, this is where I had to begin. I told you it was so difficult to do some of the simpler type of meditating because there was nothing, you have your mantras, but I just found myself getting lost so much, or, watching my thoughts. At first, it was so difficult for me to disassociate from them. So I really feel like my journey truly started to take off into meditation more so when I did guided meditations. And what guided meditations are is they take you through a process of sort of shedding and turning inward and just kind of letting go of the outside world. The way I typically begin is starting with my breath, or focusing you on your breath, and we breathe together. And then we start to focus on different parts of our body, and maybe we breathe light into those parts. And so, the idea behind the body scan portion of a guided meditation is to take you out of here and into a different part of your body, so that if I say, focus on your feet as they rest against the floor, that's where your attention goes. And so you're no longer in your head. So doing body scans through guided meditation are really great to get people into that space. And then beyond that, guided meditations can go anywhere. We can walk you through, balancing, clearing your chakras, which are the different energy centers in your body. We can go through a meditation on, getting in touch with an emotion or a fear or a memory, and just kind of feeling that and then letting it go. So there's a lot of healing that can go on through guided meditation. But I think the most important thing for you to know is you're on a guide. You're being guided. You're being guided through the process, and basically telling, this person is guiding you through what to tell your mind to do. And so that really helps you kind of feel and connect and have somebody else to help you with that process, at least at first. So those are really the biggest, most I guess the best way I could break up the different types of meditation. I hope you will join me again. I'm going to be doing a meditation on fear in my upcoming video. I will link it in the description below, and I will guide you through how to look at some of your fears and just sort of walk through them and release them. So thank you so much for joining. If you like what you're hearing, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe and hit that bell so that if you want those notifications when I upload my next video, you will get them. And as always, thanks for watching and keep shining your light.